Boom, chickadee chanka, lads and lasses. Hello, everybody. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little Manchester United transfer news video for you this afternoon. There was no video on the channel yesterday, for which I apologise. I thought I'd get on here and jump on and give you all the latest and all the latest information that's going on to do with Manchester United, the transfer news, and all the latest information, my friend. Thank you very much for joining us today. Do us a favour and hit that thumbs up button. Get involved in the live chat from wherever you're watching from in the world and get involved as we go along. Have your say. And let's be having you. So there's a little bit more movement, of course, with Manchester United and some latest goings on. We've already signed a player. Get in there. Tom Heaton has signed for Manchester United, guys. Tom Heaton has signed for Manchester United, yeah. Brilliant. No, we'll get a little bit more into that later, but obviously the biggest news right now is Manchester United's pursuit of Raphael Varane. We are understood to be seriously trying to sign this guy right now. He is a top priority for us. We've got a little update here today from Fabrizio Romano, just saying on Twitter earlier that United are in contact with Real Madrid for Varane. No official bid yet. Won't be a quick deal. Personal terms won't be an issue. Real still hope to convince Varane to stay, but he wants to try something new. He's on top of MUFC's list as a centre-back since months. So, essentially, you know, we are in talks with Real Madrid right now, guys. This is the latest update. You know, we were speculating about this, you know, when the negotiations would be sort of taking place and how long they would take. Well, we are in negotiations with them, and as Romano's just given us an idea of a time frame, not an idea of a time frame, but just simply said it won't be a quick thing. So this is going to be a bit of a long drawn-out saga as well. I mean, it should happen this summer if it's going to happen, but in terms of this summer, it'll probably be quite long and drawn out. Hopefully not. Who knows? Maybe we'll get it wrapped up in a couple of weeks. But essentially, Real Madrid still want to keep this guy if they can. The problem is the wages, and the problem is their contract offer is not to what Raphael Varane wants. So they can't really convince him to stay if they're not offering the same amount of money that United's offering him. And it is understood, of course, that Manchester United are offering the wages that he wants. So we have another update from Fab here that just says, this is him speaking on Twitch, that said United will offer Raphael Varane the wages that he wants. There is not a feeling that a deal would be done in the next days, though. So, yes, definitely going to be a little bit longer, I think, to get this deal done, guys, than than the Sancho deal this summer, because we've only just started with the Raphael Varane negotiations. For all we know, he is going to sign a new deal at United. At Real Madrid, for all we know. And maybe this negotiation with United is just all part of that, just putting the feelers out there. Also, maybe in terms of pushing up the negotiation with Real Madrid, because essentially, look, as it is, the media is portraying it. The United are offering him significantly more than Real Madrid. We're offering what he wants, and they are not. So that is what the reports are suggesting, guys. So if that is the case, then, you know, it looks like he's going to come to United. But if Real Madrid come in with a big improved offer to persuade him to stay, which, you know, Carlo Ancelotti's their new manager, may want to do that, then that could change in a matter of hours. So hopefully United can come out on top in this sort of negotiation battle here. But the issue that Romano just said, which is a big one, is that the prices between the two teams is still obviously nowhere near being agreed. There's 50 million being bandied around, 60 million, 40 million, 70 million. You know, so it really does depend on what the agreement can be between the two clubs. Guys, if you had to give this a percentage out of 100 of the chances of us signing Raphael Varane, let me know in the live chat. What would you give it? So, you know, I'm going to give it 55%, guys. A little bit of a cop-out there, almost 50-50, almost sitting completely on the fence there. But I just believe, like, no, I'm actually going to give it 60%, guys. 60% he joins United. I still think there's a chance he stays at Real Madrid, but this is looking good in my opinion for this summer. It's looking good in my opinion. 69% says the special one. 65% says Rushmano. 40% says Paul Scholes. 87% says Kyron Kiru. 89.999% says Oliver Meehan. Osman Pasha with the 69%. So what we're establishing from this, guys, is that none of us are really that confident that United are going to get this guy done. You know, there's a couple of people actually hate Last Avenger says 88%. Well, in reality, yeah, okay. But that means it's almost definite. And it's not almost definite because of all the factors we've discussed. Maybe if Zidane was still there and Varane's out of favour or whatever, or has this friction, I don't really know what the situation was, but he's not. And there's a new, fresh approach with Carlo Ancelotti coming in. So he will know the value of Raphael Varane and the fact that he could be potentially a new world-class signing for him if he gets him to stay at the club. So I wouldn't rule out him trying to really try his best to keep him, because he's a top player. I mean, this guy's 28. See, what he gives United is probably what he gives Real Madrid. This is the thing, because he's a large unit. He's like 6'3", I think, Raphael Varane. He's not a small dude. He's a big unit, but he's quick. He's quick. He can move, and he's also very good on the ball. And he's just, he's a skillful player as well, compared to, most sort of straightforward centre backs. He is a good all-round footballer. And what he provides us is, I think he can provide you something so much better than Victor Lindelof in every single down department. So in the air, he's much better aerially. He's much better just winning things in the air up against opposition strikers. He's much better positionally. He's also, and this is a big thing, much better just in terms of like dealing with one-on-one defenders, dealing with one-on-one attackers, I should say, dealing with, through balls in behind, because he has got that pace. He is able to just get in behind there quicker because he's quick. And that is a thing. That is a big factor, guys. I mean, he might not be Linford Christie or whatever, but he's still very quick for somebody his size, and that is a good thing when you are playing alongside Slabbington Maguire, because that's the idea. The idea is he's going to come in and play next to Slabby and stop the vulnerabilities of the back being so prevalent in terms of having that slowness there. I mean, because Harry is pretty slow. Victor's not quite as slow, but he's still not like rapid. We need somebody there. And not only that, I don't think Victor's judgment's good. His one-on-one defending's not good enough. His aerial defending's not good enough. So he just leaves us exposed in many a department, whereas Raphael Varane doesn't do that. Hey there, Abdullah Irwan, Osman Pasha, Shazad, Karen Kennedy, Rupert Meadow, Charlie MSC, Callum Ashton, Jack and Brad Gaming, Pavesh C, Sungwuskar. Sorry, I totally messed that up. Pavanch, hello to you. Everybody, do us a favour if you're just tuning into the stream and smash that thumbs up button. Give it a cheeky little like. Tickle the algorithm. It's free and that'll help us out. Thank you very much, guys. Get involved in the live chat as we go too. So let me get on to the next bits of information we've got for you guys. Yes, as Romano has said here, Manchester United think, this is him speaking on Twitch, I believe. He says, Manchester United think that personal terms will not be an issue with Varane. An agreement with Real Madrid will be more difficult. So, yes, I mean, this is the current setup, guys. This is the current setup. They want something like 70 million for him, 70 million euros, or 70 million pounds, I think it was, actually. We want to pay somewhere closer to 50 or 40 is the ideal number, really. They're not going to get anywhere close to that amount of money for him, I don't think, because of this, just the fact that his time on his contract is running out. We could do business with him in January and sign him up on a pre-contract for the summer next year for nothing, essentially. So, it's not really in Real Madrid's interest, I don't think, to play super hard ball on this transfer if he does want to leave. And all reports suggest that Raphael Varane does want to leave. We have a report here from ABC Deportes that says Raphael Varane wishes to leave. He hopes to negotiate everything in 2 weeks and not start the pre-season in Valdebebas. But at MUFC, the agreement between the clubs is missing right now. So, all reports, and Yanan Fjortov said here on Twitter, he said Real Madrid understand that Varane wants to leave. And on that basis of that, they are working on a solution. They will demand 50 million euros. There's a few sources and a few reporters and a few guys out there saying that Raphael Varane definitely wants to leave the football club, and there's no possibility that he's even really looking at staying at Real Madrid. And he favours the Premier League. These are other reports as well. So that looks good. It looks good. I mean, wishes to leave. He hopes to negotiate everything within 2 weeks and not start the pre-season in Real Madrid. So if that is the case, guys, if they want to cash in so they can then go and do a bit of business early and, have their own player back in for the pre-season, then they should do that. And we obviously should try and get this done as soon as possible, because then we can have the pre-season to actually be able to try and improve the team. Solskjaer could work with these guys. You can't just expect for Raphael Varane to come in literally last day of the transfer window when the season's already underway and everything, and just slot into a back line and be a top-class player immediately for us. I mean, you would hope so, because he's a great player, but it's about a system, it's about getting an understanding. You've got to at least have a few weeks in pre-season, I think, to work on all these things, to get to know your teammates, the system, the manager, the style. You have to obviously try and adapt. And that's the problem with United, is piss poor planning in the summer windows. We haven't had enough time to adapt and start seasons well. Well, if we do get Varane in the next couple of weeks, we should be able to do that. But we probably won't, guys. That's all I'm saying. It does seem like it's going to be a long, drawn-out one, this one. Because as we said here, look, everybody's reporting that Real Madrid, they're almost open to the fact that they're going to lose Raphael Varane at this stage. This is what it's being portrayed as currently. But they are holding out to get as much money for him as possible, and there is no agreement between Man United and Real Madrid at all. All reporters and all sources are claiming that there's no real deal, a reach between Manchester United and Real Madrid, and that is going to be obviously the biggest problem, just like it was for the Sancho deal for so long, dudes. Okay, so let's get into the live chat before I get on to the next topic and see what you guys think about this this Varane deal, guys. Let me know what you think. And of course the situation with the wages and stuff. I mean, I don't understand why Real Madrid wouldn't want to pay anywhere near what we want to pay for him. I mean, are they super skint? I mean, they've just bought Alaba in to replace Sergio Ramos, who was on big money as well. I mean, okay, but is there not something that they can do there just to give Varane a bit more money? And this is why I'm a bit sceptical about this whole Man United signing Varane thing, because ultimately I just think, well, he's been there for years. He's won absolutely everything. He's in his prime. They can let him leave on a free in a year, or sell him now for not a lot of money for the player that he is. Or they could just sign him up to a new contract. They've already got him. They don't have to go and then buy another top quality centre-back for, 60 million or 50 million or 40 million or whatever. They could just sign him up. It just doesn't make sense from Real Madrid's point of view to let him go. Unless he's absolutely adamant, look, I've done my time. I've enjoyed my time. I've won absolutely everything. Time for a fresh challenge. I need a new challenge. If it's about that, fair enough. But if I was Real Madrid, I'd pay the guy the money. So it's very, very strange, in my opinion, that it's got to this where they don't want to pay him anywhere near what he wants, and whereas Manchester United are prepared to pay him that. So, yeah, Real Madrid, they must be skint. Kayam, how's it going? He says, but Bruno has been overplayed and burnt out by Oli, and he still looked Portugal's most creative player. I mean, I don't know if he was burnt out by Oli. I just think he played a lot of games and, physically he was feeling it towards the end of the season. And I think maybe he played himself out of a bit of form rather than, the conditioning as well, because that can happen. You can't expect somebody to just be a machine non-stop all the time. But then, okay, maybe he was played a bit too much towards the end of the season, but it's the end of the season. We're trying to win things, we're trying to win things. He's our best player. What's Solskjaer supposed to do? Stick Mata in there? I don't know. Well, anyway, Mata, we'll get on to Mata in a little bit, actually, guys, but let's just talk about Raphael Varane. Varane would be boss for us. I think it will happen to Senex Flames. Thank you very much. Oh, nice one there, Aaron Homeyard. Thank you very much for that. I'll pin that up to the top. Yeah, get your comments in about Raphael, guys. I'm just going to stick on this topic for a couple more minutes. Bruno has been given a new deal with a great increase, says Kyron Kiru. Well, we haven't got any more confirmation on that right yet, Kyron Kiru. We did obviously report it yesterday that Manchester United were negotiating with Bruno Fernandes this month. But in terms of a full-on formal agreement being reached, I haven't heard anything. So we'll keep you up to date when it comes. But as for now, there's no confirmation of that. But yeah, I mean, look, Bruno Fernandes should absolutely be signed up to a new contract, shouldn't he? K Slater says, I read they want him to take a pay cut. Raphael Varane, yes, I read that too, K Slater. It's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Why are they they can't be that cash strapped, because they've just let Sergio Ramos go, and they've just got David Alaba in. I know he's probably on similar wages, if not more, because of his age and stuff, than what Ramos was on. I don't know. Ramos was a huge player for them, though. So they've probably just got like a like-for-like signing there. They've lost a couple 100,000 off the wages a week, and they've added a couple 100,000. Well, anyway, Bruno was rubbish for Portugal, says Rupert Meadow. He was in the group stages, wasn't he? He was in the group stages. Paul Scholes, how you doing, sir? He comments and says, if we get him, the best defender in FIFA 22 will be a United badge for Varane. I know, and Sancho's going to be playing for United, of course, in FIFA 22 as well, mate. So suddenly our team's looking a little bit better on there, isn't it? Kayam says, Jonathan, I watched most of his Champions League games and he looked bad. He says, I would still take him over Lindelof too. It's a fair point, Kayam. Look, the last few times I've watched Varane play, I keep saying this, he's not looked good. He's not looked good. He's made some errors. Sean B, how's it going? He says, Bruno was shite for Portugal. Glad he's out the Euros, can finally get a well-earned rest. That's such a good point as well, yeah, because, I know you want to play these players towards the end of the season in these big crunch games and everything, but he did look like he could do with a rest, and he's gone from playing for United all season long, very long season, to going to play for Portugal in the Euros. So, yeah, it's good that they've got out of it, to be fair, so we can have a bit of a cheeky little rest. By the way, later on, England game, baby. Come on, what's everyone's predictions for the England game? I'm going 4-1, guys. 4-1 to the mighty England. Come on. We'll be doing a watch-along for it on the channel about half an hour before kickoff, so get involved for that one, my friends. Mono says 10% pay cut. All first teamers have agreed to it, hence Ramos left. Oh, crikey. So Real Madrid really are super cash strapped. This is the situation as it is, guys. Wow. Pavanch, how you doing? He says, are you happy with Mata signing a new contract? Okay then, Pavanch, so let's get into it, my friend. Good segue, my friend. So Juan Mata obviously signed a new contract. Me, personally, I'll give you my thoughts on it. In fact, you know what? Just at the start of this, let me get a little cheeky poll up about it because it's a good point you brought up there, Pavanch. By the way, everyone, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, get involved here. Okay. I'm going to ask you a question in the live chat, guys. And I want your answer in the form of a vote in this poll. Boom. Okay, simple as that. Are you happy that Man United have signed Mata up to a new contract? This is my thoughts and opinions on the situation, guys, and I'll be totally honest. You know, it just doesn't really matter. You know, no pun intended with his name, Juan Mata. It just doesn't even matter at all. It just doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter. I don't give a shite either way, to be honest. I know that's bad. I love the guy, by the way. It's just what I mean by that is, you know, it's good if he's here. It's good if he's not. You know, if he's not here, if he went, then maybe that allows somebody else to be developed at the club, a younger player. He's not going to have massive contributions at the club, Juan Mata. He's just going to be used as a backup, almost probably as some sort of an elder statesman within the team, like a really nice older ambassador for the, you know, for the squad, and you know, that kind of thing. No, not an ambassador, but just a character within the squad. I think that's important to have. He's a very experienced player. He's a very nice guy. He's been there and done it and been at United a long time. And, you know, somebody that the other lads in the squad can look up to. He's a good role model. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. You know? That's sort of how I feel about it. He's a good player as well, guys. Like, don't let's not get this twisted. So let's read this, for instance. So this is ManchesterUnited.com. Manchester United is delighted to announce Juan Mata. This was yesterday, guys. Delighted to announce that Juan Mata has agreed a one-year contract. It's only 1 year. He's only 33, so probably 1 year, and that's the end of his time at United. He says the 33-year-old completed a transfer from Premier League rivals Chelsea in January 2014, since made 273 appearances as a Red, scoring 51 in the process. I mean, that's a fucking great contribution over the years from little Juan Mata, mate. 273 games this guy's played for us. I personally have never had a problem with his contribution to United, ever. He's always been one of the most consistent performers. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's ever set the world alight, but he's been a good, consistent, solid performer for us for years. So to me, I love the guy. To me, when he retires, I'll look at him, you know, as a very fond member of the team and look back on it as a very fond player for us. But, or fondly of the player, if you know what I mean. But for now, you know, it's fine. It's fine. I just don't. It's fine, guys. He's a good player. Look, in fact, people forget this, guys. So his impressive tally of strikes includes that memorable brace against Liverpool at Anfield in 2015, all-important equaliser in the victorious 2016 Emirates FA Cup final versus Crystal Palace. But also, check this out. So people forget, though, his season just gone, you know, he didn't play much, did he, guys? We didn't see too much of him. But look, while his 2021 season was limited to 18 appearances, partly due to personal circumstances, Mata's contribution remained, and he was notably one of the 6 Reds to win our Player of the Month awards, alongside Edinson Cavani, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Marcus Rashford, and Luke Shaw. So there was a spell throughout the season where, you know, he played and he had a great spell for us, and people forget the contribution that he's had. There were 6 players that received the Player of the Month award. He was one this season just gone. So it's not like he can't still have a contribution to the squad. So in terms of depth of having a great player in the squad and an experienced technician, a really good player with good passing and vision, somebody who could maybe come on at the end of a game when you're away in a tricky tie and just come on as an option and maybe unlock a defence or create something with a set piece. So, you know, he's that kind of guy. He's not over the hill and far away just yet. He's 33 and he's a professional guy, and he could definitely do it for another year, guys. He could definitely do it for another year. So I actually feel kind of positive about it. I know there's a lot of people saying, oh, out with the old, in with the new shit and all that. And that is fair to a point. But I don't think Juan Mata's really one of the hangers-on at the club, like we've just discussed. Even this season just gone. He had a fantastic contribution, even if it was limited. So, in my opinion, you need players like that. You need players who are experienced. You need players who are going to come in and do a sporadic role in the club, a squad role. And he has some experience and wisdom to pass on to some of the young players too around him, which is great. So, guys, let's have a look at the polls so far and see what you guys think, and also get into the live chat and just see your comments and thoughts about Juan Mata. But for me personally, I'm kind of indifferent about it, but if anything, I'm slightly happy that he's still here for another year, because I don't see him getting in there in the first team or anything. He's clearly just there to be an option for us, and a good option it is as well, in my opinion. Let's have a look at the vote here. So we've had a bunch of votes so far. Are you happy with Mata signing a new extension? Yes, say 51%. No, say 49%. Okay, pretty damn close. And it seems like you're pretty much indifferent about it too. You know what I mean? It's kind of like one of those, yeah, it's good. It's also not good, depending on which way you look at it. There's younger players that maybe could have been given opportunities. A player like a little while ago, Angel Gomez left Man United because he wasn't getting opportunities. And there's players at the club like Juan Mata who are maybe holding players, like that back. So it's a fair point, and people do want to take different options rather than just waiting it out and waiting for some older guy to come along. One thing I did just want to say here, this is quite funny. Bruno Fernandes tweeted at Juan Mata, and he just simply said, I guess I'll have to wait for the number 8 another year. Congrats, brother. Well deserved. An example and an inspiration on and off the pitch. Exactly. I mean, that's it. Bruno Fernandes just summed it up perfectly there. He is such a nice bloke. He is a great player. Goes about it in the right way. And he's been a very good servant for United over the years, my friend Juan Mata. So Bruno's just summed it up there. And he's got to wait another year for the number 8. I love it. But anyway, there you go. So let's get in the live chat, see what you guys think about Juan Mata anyway. Thank you, Berber. He says, smash a like and subscribe. Oh, we got over 100 of you legends in here. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Obviously, the Euros are on in a bit. We'll be watching the England game on the channel. Just thought I'd jump on, give you all the latest United news to do with all the transfers and latest goings on in the club. We've got a bit more to get into, actually, guys. So strap yourselves in, baby. And do us a favor, hit the like. Let's get this puppy to 100 big boys and get involved. Smash that subscribe if you're new. And here we go. Thoughts on Tom Heaton? Sorry if we've talked about it. Pavanch, we'll get onto that in just a moment. I'm just going to finish talking about Juan Mata here, and then I'm going to get onto that, absolutely. Mata played like 6 games last season. Yes, look, he actually had, it said here, he played 18 times. So on ManchesterUnited.com, it says 18 appearances. So I'm guessing that's in all competitions, yeah. So coming on late in games here and there. It's not a lot of contributions, my friend, but still enough to have a reasonable contribution. So let's not hate on little Wanny Mata, mate. He's got, just look at his little face. I just want to grab his cheek. No, seriously, he's a nice guy, mate. And that is important. And he's a good player, guys. He's a good player. But have your vote in the live chat. We'll see what you guys think come the end of it. But I'm happy that he signed a new extension anyway. Okay, so yes, sorry, let me get back in here. Older guys are more likely to know the big history of the club. Age balance is very important in the dressing room, says Diogo Santos. So true, mate. So true. And we just got Tom Heaton back. Tom Heaton is from the Fergie days, guys. Tom Heaton's from the Fergie days. Hey there, how's it going, Culture Soldier Gear? He says, gotta say, I'm a little disappointed that people want Mata to stay, by the way. He's past it, guys. What are you saying, Eddie 02? He's only 33. He's not going to be the main star in the team. He's not going to be keeping Bruno out the side. He's just there as a backup option. And you say he's past it, but he's a player. Look, I mean, this is from manunited.com. I actually forgot this. So, I actually forgot this, but it's on manunited.com, so I'm assuming it's true. He says, it said in regards to Juan Mata that, he won one of the Player of the Month awards last season. It says while his 2020/21 season was limited to 18 appearances, partly due to personal circumstances, Mata's, remember he had some bad news during the year as well. Mata's contribution remained, and he was notably one of the 6 Reds to win our Player of the Month awards, alongside Eddie Cavani. So there was 1 month, I mean, I can't actually remember when it was now. I really can't, but there was 1 month when he was mint for us this season, so it's not like he's a shit player, man. That's all I'm saying. He's still good. He's still good. Hey there, Ellie. How you doing, Ellie? She says, hi all. Great to see you too, Ellie. What's good? How you doing today? Get in there. What's your prediction later for the England game? Kayam says, Rushmano. Yes, okay. What did Rushy say? But, all right, yes. Darren, how you doing? He says, Mata will most likely do his coaching badges with the club, and that's most likely the reason why he was given the extension. Such a good point you've just made there, actually, Darren Hayes. Yes, exactly. He's probably somebody you want to keep around the club in some sort of capacity, ambassador role or coaching role, or, that's a very, very good point. I think he does really love Manchester United. Obviously, he's played for a few clubs. He played for, crikey, who did he play for in Spain, guys? Bollocks. Can't remember now. But then he went to Chelsea, obviously, didn't he? Was it one of the V's? One of the V teams? Anyway, Ollie In, how you doing? He says, having him as a mentor for the younger players might be a good idea, but at some time he has to go. This is true. Yes, Valencia, says Jonathan Gallagher. I thought it was one of the V teams. Yeah. Valencia or Villarreal. I was getting mixed up. Anyway, Kalichi and Zay. Yes, he says Varane news. Okay, mate. So I did talk about at the start of this stream, but just to give you a brief update, the short of it is United are negotiating with Real Madrid right now. There's an update from Fabrizio Romano earlier, just said it's not going to be a quick thing, but United are discussing the transfer with Real Madrid. So that is the latest proper update. We sort of knew that was going to be happening anyway, but it's, in terms of a time frame, don't expect it to happen anytime quickly. Yep, Valencia, absolutely. So, he's played for, the point I was making is he's played for some good quality clubs. He has, he's had a good career, but I think United's the club for him. He just fits United. United love him. He loves United. And that is why we should give him the respect that he deserves, because not only does he clearly have a love for the club, but he's also given his all for the club. I love Juan Mata. He's always given his all for the club. He quietly goes about it, but with a quiet determination. You can just see that as he plays. I love the guy, guys. ADV says Mata is a very effective player. He may not have the pace, but he has the experience of the decision making. Exactly, my friend. He's never been about the pace. He's about the vision, about the the technique, the passing. Some people forget the lovely goals and the lovely assists that he's given this club over the years. He's played over 200 times for this football club, and he's just a brilliant player. Thank you very much, all the way from Zimbabwe. Thank you, Sylvesters Mlabo. Appreciate that one. Get in there, Sylvesters. How you doing? If you're new, Sylvester, hit that subscribe button. Gabriel Nelson says Valencia. Yes, thank you very much, Gabriel. Pig, by the way, Angel Gomez has been amazing for Boa Vista. Yeah, I'm not surprised, mate. I'm not surprised. He's a good player. He's a good player who had a big future ahead of him. And this is another scenario why some people are not happy about Juan Mata staying. Is because it's holding other players back. If there wasn't a Juan Mata at the club when Angel Gomez was still here, and there wasn't a Jesse Lingard at the club, then maybe Angel Gomez would have got the chances and maybe he would have flourished. But then again, when he was given some opportunities, not many, but some, he didn't really take them, if you ask me. Rush Mano with a £5 super chat. Thank you very much. He says, I love Mata, but he doesn't provide enough competition for places now. That's my problem with him. Coaching role 100%. Yeah, in my eyes, I just see him as cover, really. I just see him more so as the cover role. I mean, the issue is the other positions are all pretty competitive, aren't they? You've got, left wing, Rashi and Martial and Dan James can play over there too. Striker now, you've got Greenwood, Cavani, Martial, Rashi can still play there. Over on the right-hand side, we've got Sancho and Greenwood, and of course, Martial can still play there. James can still play there. Diallo. But the CAM position, actually, I suppose we do have a bit of competition for places there too, because we have Donny, who can play there, but he's not really provided much competition for places there so far. But Donny, Juan Mata, I mean, Jay Lings is still here, but I think he's going, obviously. It looks like he may well do that. Yeah, Pogba can play there, but it's not really, I wouldn't really say that. Yeah, Juan Mata's just lowest down on the pecking order out of those players I just mentioned pretty much. He's just going to be a backup. He's just there as a backup, and as you say, probably going to go into a coaching role one day. But good luck to the guy. I love the guy. I think he deserves it. He deserves it for his contribution to United. He deserves this extra year. And you know what? We might just be very thankful at some point this season that we did sign him up to a new contract, because he could just pop up with an assist or a goal that's really big. And I think he probably will. He's that kind of guy. Hey there, Irfan Kadali says Man United have no world class in the club now to win cup. I mean, I do disagree with that, Irfan. I mean, I don't think we've got as many world class players as maybe we had in like the late 90s, or should I say the early 2000s as well. But I actually think right now is our best spell since we had Fergie here, because we have got some world class players. I think our goalkeeper is world class, De Gea. Now you can debate that all day long, but I do think he is world class. Look at what he's done over the last decade. Luke Shaw, right now, I wouldn't have said this a year or two ago, no way. But right now, I mean, I think he is world class. I think if you base it on consistency over the last year, Luke Shaw is world class, and he's doing it for club and country. You can't say anything other than he's a chance creating machine from left back, and just an all round solid defensive left back. Also, he's a beast. He's world class. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, now, okay, fair enough. I'm going to hold back on that one because he's young and he's still learning. But at what he does in terms of being a defensive right back, he's world class, right? At what he does. And then the centre backs, okay, we don't have a world class centre back, I'll give you that. The midfield, Bruno Fernandes is world class. I'm not going to say Pogba's world class, even though he is sometimes, because he is sometimes, and I don't want to know about that. So Paul Pogba, no, he's not. I'm not going to say he is. I'm going to say Bruno Fernandes is. I'm going to say Edinson Cavani is, with what he provides the team and his movement and everything, and just how awesome he was towards the end of the season. I'm going to say Jadon Sancho, on his way to, well, we don't know yet. Let's find out. It's an asterisk on that one. Could be. Stats say that he is, but that's in the Bundes. And then over on the other side, Rashford, okay, fair enough. I'm not going to say he's world-class yet either. He's got some growing and developing to do. But we have got a bunch of world-class players in there, guys. We have. We've got a few. We've got a good few, but we need more. We need a couple more, like Varane would be a great addition. Guys, get your thoughts in about that one, actually. Who do you think's world-class at Man United, guys? Who is world-class? Who's actually world-class? And what I mean by world-class is, what is world-class? Well, I don't know. I mean, you think about the handful of the best teams in the world. The best teams in the world, 6, 7, 8 teams in the world, these European Super League twats, basically, minus Tottenham and Arsenal, but basically those top teams, who could get into those teams? That's how I sort of establish as world class. Who would they actually want in their team? As a like-for-like swap with one of their players or something. Who would they play? Would Cavani get into PSG's team? Well, we know that actually, I was going to say we know that he would up until recently, but what I'm saying? I think he, that's what I'm saying, he would. Would Bruno get into, Man City's team? I think he would, yeah. I think Pep would play Bruno. If you had Bruno, I think he'd play Bruno and Kevin De Bruyne at the same time and fucking love it, So I think that's how you define world class. You've got all these great teams right now, and I hate saying that about City, but they do have a world class team right now. So would you get into those teams? That's how you define world class, in my opinion. Rashi is, says Safwan. I'm not so sure. Listen, I love Rashi, and I think he's a brilliant player, and I think he will be in the future. But right now, based on the last season or two, I can't say that he's world class because he's not been quite consistent enough. He's still got over 10 goals in the league for us this year, still had a good contribution, and last season he did too. But just not quite ready for that moniker of world class yet, in my opinion. Camille Mesqueldi says, do you really think we will sign him, or are Man United being used for contract negotiations? I mean, I do think there's a bit of both, to be fair. Yeah, I think we're more likely to sign him than Real Madrid at this stage, just by what's being said in the media by reporters and journalists and sources close to Varane. But we just don't know, do we? They could come in with a better offer, and there you go, he signs up to Real, and that's all he wanted all along. That could be a key factor. Hey, we're only 20 likes away from 100 likes. Smash the thumbs up if you haven't done so, guys. Get involved in the comment section. Gary Finnegan, he says, I think Bruno is world class as a player, and with his mentality, and he was shit with Portugal because he's burned out. He played so many matches for us this season. Yeah, I mean, he did. He was so integral to what we did this season. I agree with you, and to a degree, yeah. I agree with you, but he wanted to play and we needed him. Bruno, Cavani and Shaw, says Rushmana are our 3 world-class players. Greenwood is now finding his feet. Yeah, he's got the potential to one day be truly world-class as well. Pogba's not world-class. I don't think so either. Pogba's overrated, says Janice. G-Will says Pogba's not world-class. Culture says United have world-class players. Pogba, Bruno, Shaw, De Gea, Greenwood, Future, Cavani, Sancho, Wan-Bissaka, world-class. Yeah, no, that's a good list as well. I mean, that is quite a lot of quality players. But yeah, I agree with G-Wolf. I wouldn't have Pogba on that list either. But then G-Wolf's list probably has Slabby Maguire on it. So, take that with a pinch of salt too. Piggy, from the Fergie era, We created world-class players, yet they came in as just a player no one wanted, says Kyron Carew. Yeah, I think that's because of Alex Ferguson. I mean, he was just incredible he was just unbelievable getting the most out of players. Players like Henderson, bang average player, really, if you ask me. But at United, he was, it's not like he was Paul Scholes or anything at United, but he was still a good player at United for us. Still did some things at United. I can imagine Anderson playing in today's United team and being like, just so bad. I really could. Because it was just a different time. Fergie just squeezed the best out of all of these players, guys. He was the best. Plus, it was probably easier slotting into a team like that, which had just such a winning mentality and also had such great players back in the day surrounding them. So that is a factor as well, like those Fergie era days. But we did seem to produce more talents back then. Think about it, the class of 92. How many awesome players came out of that crop, just that 1 year alone. So, yeah, I mean, we struggle to create those talents these days. The game has changed a little bit. It's more money. It's less about that now. You can just go out there and buy ready-made players. That's what most of the top teams do, unfortunately. So we are one of the few clubs still, though, in my opinion, the few top clubs that do it properly and do bring youngsters through still. Maybe not totally. It's not like we've got 5 or 6 like homegrowns in the team, but there's Mason Greenwood in there, and we're buying players young as well. So okay, they might not be United Academy products, but they're coming in young. Wan Bissaka was only 20 when we bought him. There's a lot of youngsters, giving opportunities to Brando Williams and stuff like last couple of seasons. It's not a lot. Rashford, of course, came through. Jay Lings is still here. There's a bunch of the guys that are still here that have come through the academy, but it's not like how it used to be, to the quality or the standard. That's something we need to get back to, guys. It's easier said than done. I think you have to look at Man City's development over the last years and say that they've done a brilliant job of like their whole youth recruitment network and everything, and just the infrastructure, what they've spent on the infrastructure. They've not just improved on trying to spend players on the team, to spend on players to improve the team. They've actually spent on like developing the local area, developing facilities, developing the youth network and their youth setup and everything. And it shows, because they do seem to produce quite a lot of talents, City, right? And now it's not like a few years ago where it's like, oh, who do you want to play for? If you're coming back from the Manchester area, if you're a youngster or whatnot, who do you want to play for, Man United or City? Well, 20 years ago, unless you were a City fan, I think most youngsters would have preferred to go and have their chance at United's academy, because it's just more glamorous. It's United. But now it's just not that. It's just even now. Now it's like, well, if you're a City youngster, then you're probably getting bloody more money than if you're a United youngster and stuff like that. So, which is not the biggest factor for these things, but I'm just saying, yeah, it's gashed, mate. It's not good. Hannibal Medri is yet to come. Yeah, exactly. He looks like a great player. Ben Dawes is buying a City Academy player. Well, I was just saying about City's Academy. It's good. This is what I was just saying. And yeah, okay, we're not buying them directly from him. We do end up giving them 9 million quid, though. It's not great. I'm not happy about it. But this is what I'm saying. Their academy is pretty decent. They've produced some good talents recently. They've produced some good talents. They really have done. So I can't really. What about Foden? You can't really say that they've done anything other than a really good job since the new owners came in around it. It's easy because they've got a shit ton of money, but they have tried to invest in all areas. And that's why it's harder for United, I think, to have this great crop of youngsters like we did. Hey there, Dangerous Kyle. How's it going, mate? How you doing there, sir? Good to see you. Get in there. How is it going? How's it going, everybody? Yes, Earthing Cadini says, yes, Paul Pogba is overrated. Out. Blue Tick says, Mata is off the pitch football, a great person to deal with the young lads. Exactly. It's more important than just the face of it. It's what he brings to the club as well and the team. So let's get on to the next discussion, guys. Tom Heaton has signed a contract with Manchester United, as we know. Heaton rejoins Manchester United. This is from United.com. This happened yesterday anyway. Sorry, I didn't get on and talk about this yesterday. I just want to briefly mention it now. United delighted to confirm the signing of Tom Heaton. The England international goalkeeper has agreed a contract until June 2023, so a 2-year deal with the option for a further year. It marks a return to United for the 35-year-old who spent 13 years at the club as a youngster. He's 3 caps for his country and has also had permanent spells with Cardiff City, Bristol City, Burnley and Aston Villa. Heaton's contract had expired at Villa and he has moved to Old Trafford on a free transfer. Tom Heaton said, for me, to have the opportunity to come back after spending 13 great years here as a kid, it's an incredible feeling and I'm really, really excited to get started. I'm just seeing it as a fantastic opportunity, as I still feel I've got an awful lot to give and I've got the bit between my teeth. I'm looking forward to hitting the ground running. I feel in great shape and I'm looking forward to coming in to compete with the other goalkeepers. I mean, let's just forget that. But he probably will play a couple of games, but chances are he's literally just going to be a complete backup, which is fine. We need a complete backup. But it does beg the question here, guys. What the fuck's going on with David De Gea and Dino Hendo, mate? Like, what's going on there? You can't have two number one keepers. David's on 300 odd K a week. Hendo's on 120 or 160, is it? 160, I think it is. No, 120, 160. Something like that. It's a lot of money that both of these keepers are on, guys. Who's going to be your number one, guys? Vote in the live chat. David De Gea or Dean Henderson? Who is your number one? For me, it's David De Gea. What I would do with Dean Henderson right now is loan him out. Loan him out, guys. Or sell him. It's as simple as that, really. He's not going to get game time for me for the next season or two, really. Yeah, he is good. I like what he offers to us, you know, as depth and competition for places. I think maybe that was quite important for De Gea, because De Gea had a shit season the season before last. And then, of course, we signed didn't sign Dean Henderson. He came back from a loan, obviously, from Sheffield United, right? And competed and signed a new contract and all this business and competed with David De Gea, which maybe I think made David De Gea better this season. So there is that. Like, competition for places, same thing happened with Alex Telles and Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw had to step up his game, it seems, because Telles came in ready to take his spot, if not. Same thing happened with De Gea. So, yeah, in my opinion, it brought the best out in Dave again, maybe. I think he had a really good season, actually, De Gea. Forget the Europa League final and all that, where he shat the bed. The rest of it was a good season from De Gea. So, in my opinion, it's fine. It's a good signing, but what's going on? See you later on, Henderson, you know? What's going on there? I'm good, thank you, Dangerous Car. Thanks very much for asking. Yeah, not too shabby at all. 7 likes away from 100. Beautiful. Decathorn Sack Death, what's going on? He says, Man United racing for the title. Well, let's hope so. I mean, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? There's other teams vying for it. Chelsea will improve this summer. They'll improve next season with Tuchel, I think, compared to Lampard as well. Also, City is still going to be there or thereabouts, and they're making strides. All the rumours suggest that Jack Grealish is high on their transfer list. Harry Kane, high on their transfer list. If they get those players, then crikey, they would have improved even more. And it's going to be difficult to stop them, in all honesty. They finished 14 points ahead of us. Where are we getting those 14 points from? Okay, we signed Varane, we signed Sancho. Hopefully that'll be enough, but they are just getting stronger. So we need to make sure we're getting stronger and stronger too. And then there's also Liverpool, who will be back this season, I think. Maybe not quite to the level of a couple of years ago, but with Van Dijk coming back and Henderson back in the team, they'll be a better team. So it's actually really difficult. United have to not get left behind in this summer transfer window. We have to strengthen all areas. Excuse me, to try and compete. I've got hiccups. Daryl Hayes says, after that penalty kick, it's Dean for me. David didn't look very interested in taking it. What? He can't say that. Dean Henderson, he's a goalkeeper. You can't say because he missed the 11th penalty in a penalty shootout, it's Dean Henderson's chance. You know what I mean? That's harsh. I'll tell you what you can say, though, his overall penalty saving in that penalty shootout was shit. You can say that. Like, he just didn't... Just dive, David. Just save one, David. You know, I was disappointed with his diving and stuff. I wasn't disappointed with him missing the penalty because he's a fucking goalkeeper, mate. Although it was a shit pen. Just smash it, David. It was a shit pen. But he just bottled it, guys. He's a goalkeeper. He's not used to that situation. He wasn't ready for that. I can't blame him for that. But anyway, De Gea isn't finished, but it's time to move on, says Rushmano. Interesting. Yeah, well, a lot of people seem to think that, don't they? Because he's on big money. But I still think he's the better of the two keepers. I think we'd be hurting ourselves by losing him. Dean Henderson's a good keeper. He is. I think he's good at like clearing up at the back. I think he's a better sweeper keeper. Distribution's fantastic than David De Gea. I think he is. But I think in terms of an overall keeper, like who's going to save you the most shots on your goal, who's going to just stop the ball going to the back of the net the most over the course of a season, I think David De Gea is the best out of the two guys. So for me, it's Dean Henderson who I'd rather see go. But you know what? I'm going to end this poll here, guys. The Juan Mata one. I'm going to ask you a new question in the live chat here, guys. So get a little cheeky little vote in. But for all those people who can't be bothered to click the vote, just tell me, who do you think is your number one? Who's better, Henderson or De Gea? So I'm just going to... There we go. 53% of people said that they were not happy about Juan Mata signing a new deal. So just the majority think that it was a bad decision for Manchester United to sign Juan Mata up to a new contract. Fair enough. Well, very, very split. Very, very split there. Not too different. Hard to differentiate there. Okay, so yes. What? Let's have a look. So it's simply as this: who is better? Who is better? Simple as that. Not not even thinking about the wages or the age. I don't want to know about any of that stuff. I just want to know who is actually better. Who is actually better? So I'm just going to put the poll in the live chat, guys. Please do have a little cheeky little vote in the live chat. Finley Halpin thinks it's De Gea. Agent Rio says Finley. Yeah, man. Top bloke and 6 set-piece player. Absolutely there, Southwan. Delight Chidera, how you doing? Says, had it been he was the one Spain used, they would have used. Can't have a poor record in saving pens. At least try and save them. That killed De Gea for me. His penalty shootout in the Europa League final was one of the worst goalkeeping penalty. I mean, look, it's not really... You're not expected necessarily to save a penalty as a goalkeeper, but you've got to at least fucking go for it. And I do agree. I think his goalkeeping in that penalty shootout was just terrible. It was just terrible. I believe United had a long-term relationship with Mata, says numero uno. Absolutely, since 2014 he's been at this club. Aaron Homeyard prefers De Gea. Safwan prefers De Gea. Easily De Gea, says ZX Flames. Vote Hendo, says Hey, no, I can understand it, guys. Like De Gea, if you're talking about the last 2 years at United, overall, it's been a bad couple of years for him compared to his previous seasons at United. But this last season just gone was much better. But, you know, has he hit the heights he did 5 years ago? I don't think so. 5 years ago, he was just our best player. But people were quick to forget. He was our best player for many a season. Literally the best one. The best player in the team. Without him, who knows where we could have finished. You know, we had some really bad seasons and he was the best player. So that sort of tells you everything for me. We should stick by him a little bit longer. He's not even old, guys. Goalkeepers can go on until, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. No dramas. He's not even old, guys, as a goalkeeper. In fact, as a goalkeeper, he should be coming to the best years of his career now. In terms of, confidence, in terms of experience, judgment, reading of the game. All that sort of stuff should be peaked now for David De Gea, if you ask me. So, De Gea is a World Cup player, says Blue Tick. De Gea ball distribution world class, says numero uno. Look how good De Gea was. Versus Roma away, says Jonathan Gallagher. Thank you, Rushman. We got 100 likes on the stream. Thanks, everyone, for everybody who's hit the thumbs up button. You're awesome. Appreciate everyone who smashed that like. Appreciate, his passing is the worst of all, says Delight Chidera. De Gea is terrible when it comes to corners. He doesn't attack the ball very well. He's always had a problem with that Youssef, hasn't he, Youssef? I agree with you. When he first came in, when he was like 18, 19, and Fergie put him in there, he was shite at defending corners. He got better at it, though. He's definitely better at it, but I don't think he's world-class in that aspect, no. But in terms of a shot stopper, I think he's brilliant. Biggest Burnley fan, how you doing? He says, you are not winning the league next season. Even Real Madrid fans say Varane is on the decline. And he was rubbish v City and Chelsea. Sancho is going to take a year to settle in and Bruno lost his form. He was shit in those games, you're right. But you know what? You can't judge a defender on that. How can he be declining at 28 years of age, though? I can't really, I just don't see. I don't think he's. What I like about him is he's not injury prone or even like a Sergio Ramos or whatever. He's always available, man. Who's more often than not available, I should say. So, I think we're getting a good player there, good solid player who's dependable, reliable, who's going to be fit, who's going to be still good for many years. I don't see how he could be declining at 28, man. But anyway, yeah, that's absolutely. Rushmano says all good debates. Yeah, it's very close actually in the live chat here. So in the vote, guys, for who's the better keeper. David De Gea currently has 58% of the vote. Dean Henderson, 42%. So as we can see, the fan base still very split on this one. Seems to me like, as I said, the point I made at the start of all this topic that is very valid. We have 2 number 1 keepers, and we can't have 2 number 1 keepers. So one of them's got to go. It's time to go. Who's going to go? Well, Henderson could go out on loan. This is what I've talked about before. He could go and play for somebody else for another season or 2, really, until David's ready to move on, if David doesn't go this summer. And he's still going to play and develop and ultimately knows that one day he will be Manchester United's number 1. That's an option. I don't think it's a great option, but that's an option. The other option is we sell Henderson outright and just sell him to another club. Maybe he could go on and be one of the greatest goalkeepers in the league, and we'd be very gutted that we missed out on him. When he played for Sheffield United that season fully, when he had a full run in the Premier League before coming back to United, he was brilliant. He was better than De Gea that season. So maybe we'd be missing out on a great player by letting him go. Well, what if we sell David De Gea? He's on huge money. Will anybody actually take him for a start? Would they buy him from us? He's on huge money. Will we lose money by selling him? Will we have to pay wages for a period of time, a percentage of the wage? These things are all true. He's on a huge amount of money. And if he's sold, that's probably the lesser of all the evils, though, to be fair. And I love David De Gea, and I've just told you that I think he's the best number one. But right now, maybe it makes sense, just because he is on so much money, to cash in, try and sell him someone who's stupid enough to pay that amount for a goalkeeper on those wages. But he did deserve it. Like I said, the last 10 years, I'm happy to say this, guys, and I will put my neck on the line here. For the last decade, over the last decade, there hasn't been a single damn player in this United team, that's including the last couple of seasons, who has contributed more than David De Gea. He's the biggest contributor. He's the best player for United over the last decade. There you go. I said it. And it's fucking true. So, should he be on that amount of money? Maybe he fucking should, guys. Because he is a world-class goalkeeper and he's been such a massive player for United over the last decade. Anyway, Star-Lord, how are you, sir? He says, and Henderson will be the best in the world, plus De Gea wants to go home. This is what I'm saying. Henderson, 25, still young, still a lot of developing to do, could go on and reach great heights in the game. We'd be foolish to let him go too. In a way, I just don't know what to do, guys. Maybe let him go out on loan. Berber says, Burnley fan, worry about your mid-table rivals, Arsenal. Oh, burn. Samuel Cook says, imagine if Sancho will fail his medical. I don't even want to think about that. Delight Chidera says, you all said David was the best player of the year some years ago. That was when he was young also. Yeah, I mean, for goalkeepers, though, I don't think that it matters he's 32 or 33. You know, that's still young for a goalkeeper in my eyes. So this is now when he should be the best. Definitely true, says Mikhail Khan. Thank you very much, Mikhail Khan. Yeah, 100% says Safwan. Agree, Pig, with that. Yeah, exactly. So we're talking about getting rid of somebody who over the last decade is our best player. And he's still only 32. So, give your head a wobble, lads. Anyway, biggest Burnley fan says, Havertz is way better than Sancho. Did you see Havertz in the Germany game? And Havertz found his form. Yeah, he was pretty good, you know. But Havertz, I don't think so. I mean, he did come in. You're right, he did play better when Tuchel come in towards the end of the season. Probably have a better season next year. He's still young. Going to be a good player, but I don't know. Just look at compare their stats in the Bundes when Sancho's even younger. See how they get on. De Gea carried us for years, says Alex Flames. Captain Nucleon says, yeah, De Gea is so great when he was in goal versus MK Dons. Oh, don't bring that game up, Captain Nucleon. Has Varane been confirmed? I'll tell you what, though. Remember that game against Tottenham Hotspur a couple of years ago? Who remembers that game? I think we beat them 1-0. I can't quite remember now. But, yeah, we did, I think. And but it should have been 10-1 to Spurs. I'm not even joking. We got fucking battered the entire game by Tottenham. But David De Gea made, like... just 100 saves, and you know, stuff like that lives in my memory. That guy has put in some bloody shiz for United over the years, that guy. Hey, Manny Snowflaki says, has Varane been confirmed? Yeah, he has been confirmed as still being at Madrid. Nothing confirmed about him, though, in terms of moving to United there, Manny. What it is, so Fabrizio Romano came out earlier, just gave us an update and said that United are now, officially negotiating with Real Madrid for the transfer of Raphael Varane. So that's basically the latest. He also said and gave us an update that it wouldn't be a quick thing. So it's not going to happen the next few days. It could be weeks, could take all of the window. We'll see. I mean, the two clubs are going to have to reach an agreement on the offer. Similar to any of the other deals we've done recently, there'll be a negotiation period. Hopefully that negotiation period can be a bit quicker than some of the previous negotiations we've had. And we could get it done in a couple of weeks. But that's basically the soonest it will be, really. Chances are it could rage on until the end of the window. Yes, I love it how De Gea's up to 62% now. Go on, who's better? It's De Gea. Yes, he's world class and it has been for a decade. Who's better, Henderson or De Gea? Henderson's had a lone year at Sheffield United, and then somehow he's all of a sudden better than our greatest player over the last decade. Okay then, guys. No, it's all opinions. And you know what? With goalkeepers, I've said this before too. Goalkeepers can just have like a mental shift, and then it's just like they're not the same player. I've seen that happen with a few players. Joe Hart being one of them. There's a few, there's loads. Robert Green. There's loads of examples where a player has not necessarily an incident, but maybe sometimes an incident, but also just, I don't know. There's just some sort of confidence bottle job loss that happens in the head with goalkeepers, guys. David James. There's a few guys, as they get on their periods throughout their career, they struggle and they either find it again later or they don't. And so there is an argument there to say that maybe De Gea is finished, even though he's only 32 and even though he's been our best player for the last... There's an argument to say that he's declining and he's not going to be the same. There is an argument there, so I do respect people's opinion on that one. because he's not been as good the last couple of years. Harshit Doob says David De Gea is a saviour. Yes, but he's not in his prime now. There you go. Basically summed it up what I just said. You're right. I do Red Hicko. Yes. Rushmano says don't spam, guys. Yes, please keep it non-spammy. G Hound Dog. Yes. Oh God. Calamity James. Yeah, absolutely. Right, let me just get into the last couple of little bits and pieces of information we got, guys. Then I will get into the live chat for a couple of minutes, and then I'll let you get on and watch the Euro games. But so yes, the signing. So this is from Telegraph. James Ducker just said that the signing of Tom Heaton means that United will now look to get rid of one of David De Gea or Dean Henderson this summer. So we were just talking about that. It does seem like that is possible on the agenda here for United this summer. By the way, Rio Ferdinand, yes, check this out. Agent Rio, thank you very much for sending this through there, Rushmano. A couple of people mentioned this in the live chat. Rio Ferdinand says he's messaged Raphael Varane about joining. Somebody said to him, he tagged him on Instagram for a start and says, come on, Raphael Varane, would love to see him at United, big possibility, right? And he tagged him, but and then somebody asked him a message and said, can you drop Varane a text? You were his idol. And he says, already have done. Agent Ferdy. Go on, Ferdinand. Get him in there, son. Go on, Rio. Rio. That's quality. I love it. And we've got an update here from Paul Pogba on Paul Pogba as well. Thank you, Rushman. It says, Paul Pogba held initial discussions with Manchester United over his future before Euro 2020, sorry. More is expected on that before the start of the season, but nothing is deciding on what happens next year. So still in negotiations with Pogba, guys. Hopefully it happens soon in terms of signing a new contract. Or, as I say, hopefully happens soon in terms of him not signing a new contract and us selling him. Because one or the other has to happen soon. And as I said about Pogba, I'd be kind of okay either way, really. I'd probably rather we cashed in and invested it elsewhere because I'm not sure if he's the most consistent, but he's still a big game player and we'd still be a weaker team without Paul Pogba unless we did go and get another quality player using that money. So I do want him to sign a new contract. I just don't want him to pay him a ridiculous amount and undermine the rest of the squad. And I also want us to cash in if we can. But there's some good information there from Rio Ferdinand. Much love. Also, we're after a youngster, 18-year-old Portuguese left-back Nuno Mendes to Manchester United. Will be an update in the next few days. This is from Fabrizio Romano on Twitch. So, update on a new, exciting Portuguese left-back, Nuno Mendes, 18 years of age. Look, he's just one for the future here, guys. Maybe somebody can deputise for, Shaw and take over from him one day in 5 years' time. Who knows? But certainly a good little seed we're planting there. It looks like that can happen in a few days' time. He played 35 games, by the way, for Sporting. So just to let you know what sort of player he is. Considering he's only 18, already playing 35 games in all competitions for Sporting, winning their first Portuguese league title since 2002, I'd say that he's pretty decent. I mean, look, you can't really say much from his stats. He got 1 goal and 2 assists in 35 games for them. But he's a defender. He's a left back. So, and they won the title. So he's obviously done a good job this season, guys. That's what I'm saying. 18 years, mate. Looks exciting as fuck. There you go, anyway. Okay then, guys. That's basically all the United news. So just to give you a rundown before we get into the live chat here quickly for a minute. United are in contact with Real Madrid for Varane. No official bid yet. Won't be a quick deal. United will offer Raphael Varane the wages that he wants. There is a feeling that a deal will be done. There is not a feeling the deal will be done in the next few days, though. United think personal terms will not be an issue with Varane. An agreement with Real Madrid will be more difficult. Varane wishes to leave. He hopes to negotiate everything in the next 2 weeks. Real Madrid understand Varane wants to leave. On that basis, they're working on a solution. They will demand 50 million euros. Various sources reporting this. Ruben Neves, one of the midfielders Manchester United have been looking at. Wolves have made Neves available to buy at around 35 million. United have been in contact. However, United are not sure whether this is a deal they would proceed with. So this is reported by Dean Jones Soccer. I haven't talked about that in depth because I think it's just one of those speculative links. But still, there you go. Saul is possible to join a Premier League club this summer as well. Just one thing I wanted to mention. This is from Fabrizio Romano via his Twitch show again. He just said Saul is possible to join a Premier League club this summer. So there you go, guys. And he also said that Pogba to Juve this summer, there is nothing there. No negotiations at this stage whatsoever. So nothing there at the moment for Juventus. They can't afford him, guys, unless they sell Ronaldo. So there's all the latest, guys, in to do with Manchester United's transfer news, guys. That's the latest rundown. Obviously, later on, I'm going to be doing the England game, and then there's the FIFA after that. So there probably will be not an evening show tonight, obviously. But I don't think there's going to be, I will obviously jump on if there's some big news. Raphael Varane announced he's flying in for a medical or whatever, but I don't think that's coming anyway. So we'll be back tomorrow, though, to give you the latest update if there is news. So make sure you smash that subscribe button, click that bell icon. Like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda, the bells! So you get a notification when these streams go live and stuff. And do get involved in the live chat and everything, guys. Everybody's welcome. I'm going to stick here for a couple of minutes anyway. Oh, shit, the game's on now, so yeah. But I'll stick around here for a couple of minutes if anybody wants to ask anything. Harsh it, dude. Pogba is going to Juve. Well, I mean, they're going to have to find the money for it, but they don't have the money. They're paying Ronaldo too much money. Maybe if Ronaldo left. So I'm going to end that poll there, guys, in terms of David De Gea. There's been 113 votes, actually. And if you just want to quickly have a vote, tell me who you think's better out of De Gea and Henderson. Looks like David De Gea's won, though. Get in there, David. Get in there, David. I'm buzzing about that. What's my prediction? I'm going for 4-1, Kainan Kiri to England. 4-1 to England, my son. Oh, hell yeah. Ollie is another Lampard. No, he's not. Ollie's finished 3rd and 2nd in the league, mate. And he's definitely not another Lampard, mate. Big Phil Jones, Eric Dyer swap? No, thanks. I'd rather have Argern in shithouse. Actually, I wouldn't, I don't think. I probably would rather have Eric Dyer, definitely. What am I on about? But still, I don't want him either. He's not what I need. He's not what we need. Do I rate Henderson because oh, yes, I do, Harsh it do. I really do. I think he's better at De Gea in some things. I think his distribution's better. I think his sweeper keeper's better. His rushing out and closing down and things like that is better. His judgment's better in that regard. But overall, the thing that I'm interested in is somebody stopping opposition from scoring, and I'm not sure. I think that David's better at that. So there you go. Mikhail Camavinga or Zachariah for me right now because he's more experienced. He's 23, I think, or 22. He's still young, but he's got more experience. He's doing it at a more consistent number of years at a high level. Camavinga playing for Stade Rennes. He's a good young player, 18. I'd get him definitely as one for the future, but I don't think he's going to be as effective right now as Zachariah. I think United needs players to come in now who are going to improve us right now. Yes, Kayam, don't worry about it, lad. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Don't rise. Janice says, Pig, Ukraine is a very good team, but I don't think it'll be so easy, but I'm going 2-0 to England. Yeah, I know. They are a good team. It's not going to be easy. None of these games at this stage are, but I'm still going 4-1. You know why? Because come on, England, and it's coming home. That's why. Zaka says, harsh it. Kieran says, think he here to see if Ollie available for Burnley needs a new manager. Absolutely, guys. I'm going to leave it there, but thank you very much for tuning in. Enjoy the game. Everybody's gone to watch the game. I'm going to do the same as well. Tune in for the watch along the England game in a bit. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll be back with a transfer update. If you enjoyed the show, hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow us on social media at Flying Pig United. Also, check out the website, flyingpigunited.com and unitedflyinghigh.com, and give us a follow-up all over social media, guys. See you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Back at 7:30 for the watch along. Thank you, Harshit. Thank you, Kayam Rashmano, Kyron, biggest Burnley fan. Mikhail Khan, Travis as well. How are you doing, Travis? 1-0 Denmark. Oh, shit, we better get off and watch the game. Kayam, Jonathan, Captain Nucleon, everybody, take it easy. This is the Pig, and I will be back later for the England watch along. We will see you there. Tune in about 7:30, guys. Catch you later. Like, subscribe, comment, and take it easy.